Step out so you can go see Laura. Windows, right? Come on out.
You're getting out of the car now.
Obviously.
Let's go.
Okay.
Open the door on your own. We've had enough of this.
You're a terrorist.
That's right.
Be careful. Can I have you my shoes?
In a minute. What will you all do? Turn around, put your...
You're a terrorist, and I'm telling the truth, and you're going to pay for that.
All right.
April 8th, 2025. Somewhere in the United States, a woman named Laura spent the entire night calling 911, convinced her neighbors were agents of the Antichrist, convinced officers were covering it up. When morning came, they didn't send a therapist. They sent a warrant.
Nothing to talk about. You are directly involved. You're in extreme denial, and you're covering it up. You have no right to be on my property. You can't get me in my home. You can't get me on my...
Come on out.
You have no goddamn right. I'm telling the truth.
We believe you, Laura.
You're all gonna fuck.
I can't.
What do you need to say?
I want to talk to you about everything you've been calling in about.
There's nothing to talk about. You are directly involved. You're in extreme denial, and you're covering it up. You have no right to be on my property. You can't get me in my home. You can't get me on my motherfucking property.
Will you listen if I try to explain things right now?
Can't talk to you when you're doing that.
What do you need to... I'm telling the truth. You're terrorist.
Oh,
Okay.
You've long harassed me and tried to silence me. I'm telling the truth.
I want to hear what you got to say.
We'd like to hear you.
This is my property. You have no right. I have every right. Go away.
We're not going away.
I'm not stepping out either.
We can't go away, Laura.
You're scumbag terrorists. I bet.
Laura. Laura.
I'm telling the truth.
Laura.
You're in extreme denial.
Well, I want to help you. What can I do to help you right now? What can I do? What can I do to help you right now?
I've already told you. I called all night.
Okay, I just called on this morning.
To my property, provide some kind of support and protection, and alert the I've already told you.
Oh.
And you're in denial. You're covering it up, and so are they. You all need to die.
What am I covering up?
I'm being terrorized.
Okay.
The people terrorizing me are the Antichrist. You are a part of them.
I've never been a part of the Antichrist. Laura.
You're just getting me riled up. No thanks.
Okay, I want to know what I can do to help you. Well, at this point, we can't do that.
Laura. We need you to come out.
You're trying to silence me.
No,
Laura.
we're not trying to silence you. You can say whatever you want and we'll listen.
All you do. All you do.
Hey, stop beeping for a minute. We have a warrant for you.
You're scumbags and you're harassing me.
Listen to me. We're not going away.
Oh well, you're terrorists.
Okay. Step out so we can... Step out. Step out so you can go see... Laura. Windows, right? Come on out.
You're getting out of the car now.
Obviously.
Let's go.
Okay.
Open the door on your own. We've had enough of this.
You're a terrorist.
That's right.
Be careful. Can I have you my shoes?
In a minute. What will you all do? Turn around, put your...
You're a terrorist, and I'm telling the truth, and you're going to pay for that.
All right, maybe we will.
No, you are.
You should have listened to us, though. We wouldn't have had to do that.
Come into custody with you? You're trying to silence me.
Open up the...
This is all you do, is try to silence me. You're scumbag.
Not really.
You're in denial, extreme denial. You're... Oh yeah, how many light bulbs? How many light bulbs is this, guys? You're exactly fresh to it, scum. Real.
Hold on, don't turn around yet.
You can probably take these ones off here. Do you have anything in your pockets, Laura?
No.
Alright. This could have been a lot easier.
You're scumbag terrorists. I've been calling the entire night. Yeah, it could have been a lot easier. You could have came out here when I asked you to.
Officers did last night.
No, I asked you to come here and sit in my property, and you refused to do so. I said, stay here until the federal authorities come, because that's what this needs. You're harassing people, you're exploiting people, and you're terrorizing. You're terrorists. You're all going to spend the rest of your fucking lives behind bars. I'm going to see to it.
All right, relax.
All right, Laura, do you want to kick off your shoes and get this glass out?
Is it out
Out
of
of
there?
there? Okay. Nothing on you? No. Okay. Back to Chris's car.
Yeah.
You want to tow?
We're gonna have to do something with it. So we can get it covered up. I don't know if we have any.
No, I think he.
Oh, you turned it off.
I didn't know if you wanted to tow it through to get failure to comply.
Yeah, we got that all buried.
Yeah, might as well.
You want to bring it to target? Or what?
No, we'll take it to whoever tows it. Tell them that, we'll tell them that they need to put some plastic over the window. All right, I'm going to get going with her.
All right.
Follow him back.
You want me to go with him and you take my truck?
Yeah, that'll work.
All right. You got keys for his truck?
I think it's running.
I was going to say,
Well, it's still is it a fob or is it a?
just follow him and now he can jump in with me.
You still have your eviction?
Here's the question that keeps me up at night. When a valid arrest warrant meets a full-blown mental health crisis at the front door of someone's home, what does the law actually require? And does the system we built have any real answer for that? Let's start with the foundation. Payton versus New York, 1980. Supreme Court drew a hard line. Your home is your constitutional fortress. No warrant, no entry. Period. But Payton cuts both ways. A valid arrest warrant does authorize officers to enter if they have reason to believe the subject is inside. The warrant is the key. Everything else turns on it. Now here's where it gets complicated. Laura wasn't inside the house when they finally moved on her. She was in a vehicle on her own property. That's not a traffic stop. Pennsylvania versus Mims, which lets officers order people out of cars, doesn't cleanly apply here. The authority to pull her out came from the warrant itself, not from any traffic stop exception. Under Graham versus Connor, 1989, every use of force gets judged by objective reasonableness at the moment it happens. Laura wasn't armed, she wasn't fleeing. She was a woman in crisis, barricaded in a car on her own land. The force used, commands, physical guidance, handcuffing, sits at the absolute minimum end of that spectrum. That part, they got right. But here's my counter-argument, and this is where human thinking has to push back. While the warrant gave them legal authority, their engagement with Laura's mental state was reactive, not proactive. City of Houston versus Hill, 1987, protects every word she screamed at those officers. You cannot arrest someone for calling you a terrorist. They knew that. But knowing the law and knowing how to handle a psychiatric crisis are two completely different skill sets. The lead officer tried. We believe you, Laura. That's a real de-escalation technique. Validation without agreement. Crisis intervention training 101. But then the same officer fired back, all right, maybe we will, when she threatened them with prison. That single moment tells you everything about the gap between knowing a tactic and actually applying it under pressure. The deeper systemic question nobody's asking on camera. Laura said she called 911 all night long. She asked officers to stay on her property until federal authorities arrived. What happened to those calls? If dispatch logged a mental health contact and the department responded by queuing a warrant execution instead of a crisis team, that's not one officer's failure. That's a policy failure. Now let's talk about the officers themselves. The lead officer showed genuine patience across a prolonged, emotionally exhausting standoff. The offers to help, the measured tone, the decision not to escalate physically until they had no other option, those are real positives. But mirroring Laura's language back at her, "You're in extreme denial," is precisely what crisis protocols say not to do. You're not interrupting the loop, you're feeding it. As for Laura, I'm not going to grade her, and here's why. The standard rubric assumes a person making reasoned choices about their rights. What this footage shows is someone whose belief system had passed the threshold where external reality could reach her. She called for help all night. The help that arrived came with handcuffs. That distance between what she needed and what the system delivered is the real story here.
One night.
Yeah, when you get service, can you give me a call?
Pretty soon. We just pulled in a garage.
I'll have a few minutes over here, so. So, do we have any,
I'm telling the truth, you're terrorists, and you need to turn yourselves in.
Okay.
You're gonna spend the rest of your f***ing lives behind bars.
I'll work on that, but right now.
You're gonna spend, look into my eyes, you're gonna spend the rest of your lives behind f***ing bars.
Wonderful, wonderful. But right now,
Yeah,
I'll
I
just ask you a
bet.
few
Well, yeah,
questions.
we'll add that to the remark. Wonderful.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we'll add that too.
So, do you have any medical issues we need to be worried?
Yourself,
Okay, thanks.
piece of.
Right. Are you thinking about
Get
hurting
that
yourself in
out.
any way? Try to get that.
No, these people are terrorists, and I'm telling the truth. I've long tried to report that I'm being terrorized. I've been calling all night to 911. You didn't have the right to arrest me in my home, but you like to chase me around in the community because you're slime buckets who are in extreme denial.
We're just waiting on a female to patch you up.
Okay.
If you want. That's one.
Take that. That's be a good start.
Huh?
That'd be a good start.
Is it, who did the warrant?
I did.
No.
Oh, Italy.
Dempsey.
Dempsey? Okay. So it's cat warrant.
Yeah, and he's going to be revoking her bail from the last, so. We need.
Take that one back if you want to make a copy.
Hi.
Jeff, I can-
How's you been?
You're terrorists, and I'm telling the truth.
Like that?
You're in extreme denial. Yes, the truth. Just like this, as a matter of fact. You're terrorists. I'm telling the truth, and you're in extreme denial, and you're going to spend the rest of your life behind bars, you little.
Ma'am, I need you to turn around so I can get the handcuffs off. And she's gonna pat search you. Hand on the wall.
Do you have anything in your pockets?
No, nothing. I don't believe me.
Other hand on the wall.
Take your shoe off for me. Okay, let's go inside.
Have a seat there in that great chair. Okay, guys.
Okay.
Lesson 1. Know what a warrant actually authorizes. Under Payton versus New York, a valid arrest warrant is not just permission to knock. It authorizes entry into your home if officers believe you're inside. If you're ever in a situation where officers claim warrant authority, your first move is to ask to see it and to say nothing beyond that without an attorney present. Lesson 2. Protected speech has real limits in practice. City of Houston versus Hill says you can challenge, criticize, even insult an officer without being arrested for it. But in a high-stress encounter, the legal protection and the practical reality don't always match. Knowing your rights matters. Knowing when exercising them loudly makes things worse matters just as much. Lesson 3. The mental health crisis gap is a community safety issue, not just an individual one. Most jurisdictions have crisis intervention pathways, mobile mental health units, diversion programs that exist precisely to handle situations like this. If your community doesn't have one, or if 911 calls aren't being routed to those resources, that's a gap worth pushing your local government to close. Lives depend on it. I've reviewed a lot of these cases. This one feels different. Not because the law was dramatically violated, but because the law worked exactly as designed and still produced an outcome that raises serious questions. A warrant got served. An arrest got made. And somewhere in that process, a woman who spent a night desperately calling for help got processed instead of helped. The Constitution doesn't enforce itself, and it doesn't automatically produce justice just because it's followed. That's what these cases are for. Resources for mental health crisis support are linked in the description. Thanks for watching.